Hi guys, my name is Jimmy Elder. I am the owner of Soccer Innovations and I want to show you how to pick out a good soccer ball. There are three different types of soccer balls. There is the seamless panel ball that's thermomolded. There is the machine stitched soccer ball, which has a tiny micro stitch in it, and it's what it sounds like. It's made with a machine, a sewing machine. And then there's a hand stitched soccer ball. The hand stitched is the original from years gone by, made in Pakistan with a thicker thread. So if you are looking for a soccer ball, you have to consider the age of the player. If your son or daughter is a younger player, or if you are a young lady or gentleman, maybe under the age of 12, you want to look at a machine stitched ball. The reason is the machine stitched balls typically are preferred by the younger players because they're lighter weight and they're easier to head and they're softer when they hit you. And they ping a little nicer when you're shooting and playing them. Most people don't realize this, but the big retail shopping centers, typically sports stores, have the machine stitched balls because they're typically made in China. They do a very good job at machine stitching and the price point is lower. So you'll see a lot of these, and as you can see, the stitching is extremely tiny. Very tiny stitches. And they actually make for a nice ball for younger kids. Once kids get to an older age, the machine stitch ball becomes too light for them. And they lose control and doesn't perform as well. And that's where the hand stitch balls come in. Hand stitch balls were originally, I believe, made in Pakistan. They've been making them there for probably since the beginning of time. They have a much thicker thread. As you look closely, you can see a much thicker thread that's holding those panels together. Anytime you see that, you know it's a hand stitch ball. These are typically a little bit more expensive because it takes them a little longer and they actually have a physical human being there, the thick thread stitching it together. The other advantage of a hand stitch ball is it's a little bit slightly heavier because the thicker stitch can hold a thicker, heavier, better quality material. So the older kids that have a lot more power in their legs prefer the hand stitched balls because they play a little bit better, and the younger kids typically prefer the machine stitched, in my experience, in all of our testing. The third ball that has come into play recently has been around for a long time, and that is a seamless soccer ball that is molded. And as you can see, there are no stitches in this ball to be found. The panels are seamed together without stitches. It's called molded. Molded's been around for a long time. However, only recently have they perfected the manufacturing so it plays really nicely. You can find the molded soccer balls in the Champions League, in the World Cup, in a lot of the professional leagues. And now they've kind of become a preferred ball because without a seam, you don't have the water penetration. Without a seam, you don't have the air loss. And for those reasons, it becomes a very popular ball. In addition to that, it retains its shape, sometimes a little better than your machine stitched or your hand stitched, although the technology today rewards us all with rarely a lopsided ball. So the other advantages of a seamless ball is that you can inflate this so that it'll perform well at all levels. So the older guys can use this, put a little bit more air in it, and it plays nice and firm, a little heavier than a seamless ball that's slightly underinflated. If it's underinflated, it becomes a little lighter, a little softer for the younger players. So it's quite an innovative technology. Soccer Innovations has a lot of the seamless balls because we feel like this is the ball of the future, and we have them in all different models for the younger ages and the older ages kids at different price points. But in a nutshell, that's how you select a soccer ball. Between the stitching issue and the price points comes the materials. the cheaper the ball, probably the lesser expensive the material, meaning that it won't play quite as well as the higher dollar materials that are a little bit softer, handle the weather changes a little better. But overall, that's your 3 types of soccer balls broken down. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you go out and pick yourself a great soccer ball, and we certainly hope you will consider Soccer Innovations when you select your soccer ball. Thank you.